The Isaiah Factor Uncensored starts right now.
And welcome to the Factor Uncensored. Will the problems keep mounting for Houston Texans quarterback Deshaun Watson, as finally today, the first victim, the first woman to file a lawsuit against him for sexual harassment and assault, came forward and spoke publicly. We had a chance to hear from her and our panel tonight.
I got into massage therapy to heal people. To heal their minds and bodies, to bring peace to their souls. And Deshaun Watson has robbed me of that.
And our panel joins us now here on the Factor Uncensored to talk about this bombshell of a press conference from attorney Tony Buzbee, who is suing Deshaun Watson of the Houston Texans. And today, guys, we just heard from Ashley Solis. She is the first woman to file a lawsuit against Deshaun Watson. Some powerful words from her. Dolores, your thoughts on hearing from Ashley Solis for the first time?
Well, first I want to say my heart and thoughts are with both Ashley, Lauren, and the rest of the survivors. I think it's just it was disgusting to hear, but I think it's a clear awakening to what's going on in the world right now. The sports world represents America, and when the sports world is messed up, it illuminates what's going on in the rest of the world. So to see Deshaun Watson in this predicament, I will say we need to do a better job of protecting women. I'm not saying he's guilty, but the evidence is pretty damning. But I would like us to also think about all the other powerful men in the world right now. But I am incredibly proud of Ashley for just standing up and speaking out, because it's incredibly hard. The media might tear her apart, but she should know that there are people with her like me that are just pulling for her to just stand strong in this moment.
Kim, let's bring you into the conversation, putting a face on all of this. Initially, we were talking about anonymous complainants, people without names, without faces, Jane Does out there, and it was easy for the public to dismiss it. Now that we have a face, at least one face, and the second victim's name, will that make a difference with those fans who were dogged out there, saying all of this is complete bull, lies, and now we're seeing human beings saying this is what happened to me, even though we don't know it's true yet, but we're seeing faces.
So I want to start with the end of what you just said. Like, I'm a woman, so obviously the whole sexual assault and abuse thing, is important that it be handled properly to me. But I'm also a journalist, and it's really important for me that we wait for the facts. And so while Ashley's story was heartfelt, I'm not here to debate her story because that's not my role. I'm not a lawyer. We still don't know the facts of the case. And so I think when I watch the press conference, you can't help but be like, feel something from watching this young woman tell her truth, okay? But then when I see them bring out somebody talking about human trafficking, now I'm annoyed. Because what you're doing is you're conflating the situation. And you're now saying that Deshaun Watson is a human trafficker and a pimp, because those are words that we use. So it still messes up, right? Whatever Ashley came to share and bring, to me, those are the kinds of activities that are going to make it challenging for people who want to really support Deshaun, whether they should or not. I don't have a dog in that fight. You're getting away from what the story is.
They were piling on, in your opinion, at least the legal staff.
From a legal staff, because he's not been accused of human trafficking. And you bring on this expert who pours out her love for Tony Buzbee and about human trafficking. She gives all these stats. We know it's an issue, but hey, that's not the case today, is it? Or have I missed something?
Thank you.
I just think it still is, from the lawyer, a lot of antics and a lot of show that conflates what's happening. Like, if you're going to say the man was human trafficking, then you need to say that. But if not, don't bring the person that's head of human trafficking, because we all know human trafficking is horrible. So to answer your question, putting a face with it, it makes it more real for some. And for me, I'm at the same place. When I first heard it, I said it should be checked out. I don't feel any differently today. And I still want to see the facts of the case borne out because we still don't have all the facts yet. And that's still where I stand.
Oliver Brown, your thoughts on the press conference today and hearing from Ashley Solis and a letter from one of the other victims in this case?
You know,
Alleged
I think
victims. Let me repeat that. Alleged victims or accusers in this case.
and I like to compliment Kim on what she highlighted there as far as saying, let's look at facts. Absolutely correct. One thing I'm very concerned about this case now, that Tony Busby sat there and said, oh, they didn't want all this attention. Well, you're the one keep coming to the media, bringing the attention, okay? These ladies, they filed under Jane Doe, which that's their legal right, okay? But after the initial press conference, that should have been it. This case is about to do a disservice to victims is what I'm concerned about. Mm-hmm. And then they parade around these quote unquote experts, this Dr. Hamilton, but then says that's her street name. So is this really a doctor or is that just a street name that they call you doctor, okay? When I heard the letter that she supposedly wrote that was to help overcome this sexual assault, it was written very, very technical, which that's gonna bring in a lot of scrutiny once we get into a trial room. I think what Rusty Hardin is doing is staying out of the media. He's not trying to litigate the case in the media. I think it's excellent. I think Tony Busby may be a little bit concerned about the strength of his case, and so he's trying to use media pressure and then conflate all these issues into it to make him look so bad that it'll force him into a settlement. And
okay,
to me,
we're going to take a quick break here, Oliver, and we'll come back and continue our discussion on this press conference involving the Deshaun Watson case. We'll be back with more Factor in just a moment. And welcome back to The Factor Uncensored. For the first time, we've heard one of the accusers, alleged victims in the Deshaun Watson case. She's identified herself as Ashley Solis, one of the first to file a lawsuit, and she's a massage therapist. Oliver, we'll allow you to continue here now.
Yeah, and as I was addressing these quote-unquote experts, there was a very huge misstatement by one of the ladies. She said that there's a lot of fees and moving forward in a criminal case for the victim. That's false. If you're a victim of sexual assault, there's a whole division here in Harris County and multiple counties that deals specifically with taking your case in and then also giving you resources. I think that was a very bad statement made by this quote unquote expert, and then said, well, the civil route is easier. No, the civil route is actually harder. And down at the district attorney's office, they have an entire division to provide support and help for victims of sexual assault. And so please, if you're a victim of sexual assault, please reach out to the county. They have the resources. Kim Ogg's office has a whole division set up for it, and y'all can contact them and they will get you help, and it's not going to cost you.
Really quick, Oliver, one of the things you mentioned was how Rusty Hardin has handled this case. Do you think it was a good move for him to say, we have 18 more massage therapists out there who will vouch for him? So people get the image in their mind. What is it with all of these massage therapists?
Well,
you're talking about at least 40 now.
Yes. So yeah, if you take the 18 and the 22 is 40. I think what he's trying to say is that that's something that he spends his money on. Sure, it may not be actual sports massages. It may be sensual massages. And as we know, there's plenty of places throughout Houston that provide that services. That does not make it criminal for you to want to, use your money to just have different women rub on you, so long as it's consensual. So maybe they're setting the foundation for that. But again, I love how
really quick, Oliver, let's bring in Dolores again. Dolores, sure. One of the things that Ashley Solis said was, we were all deceived into thinking Deshaun Watson is a good guy. Unfortunately, we know good guys can do terrible things. Your thoughts on that comment, and what does that mean to you?
I think it appears that Ashley was misled and thought that Deshaun Watson was this great guy that we see in the media. But shortly after she, I guess, got the downfall of what transpired after the massage.
Kim, your thoughts on that statement?
you know, again, Ashley spoke her truth. And if that's where she is, of course, she's incredibly disappointed. And I'm not here to say she should not be. What I will say is these kind of stunts, because that's what Tony Busby did, makes it really hard for all of the women who really do suffer from sexual assault to come forward, because it brings on a level of scrutiny and criticism that makes it difficult, because this is a real thing. It does happen. But to try this case in the media, it's about publicity. And unfortunately, the plaintiffs are kind of pawns in it, to me, and that's unfortunate. Let's get to the truth and see what happened. And I'm not willing yet to say that Deshaun Watson's not a good guy yet. I'm just
20 seconds, last 20 seconds only, Oliver. Go ahead. Wrap it up for us.
The one thing that I'll disagree with Kim on today, and I've agreed with everything, I don't want to hear about her truth. I want to hear about the truth. Yeah. That's all I want, the truth, because her truth may not be the truth. And that could, because what they've done to him, they've already assassinated his character. If you assassinate a man's character, you might as well kill him.
All right. We want to thank you guys for joining us here on The Factor Uncensored. Interesting conversation that we will continue here on The Factor